Welcome back to another tutorial. This time we're going to take a look at walls. Walls are currently available in the RaceDay XPack, so we'll just create a new project there. If you already have a project, you'll need to copy the new RacePack XPack across into your project, or you can use other XPacks here to begin with and just include that later on by going and editing your venue here and changing the XPack that you want to include. Walls are done using this new pink icon. I'm a fan of Pink Floyd, so hence the pink walls. You can select your wall here. You can double click if you want to pick a different one to use in that particular slot, or you can just go and select whichever wall you'd like and then come down and start clicking and dragging. The walls are very similar to BTB walls, except they've got end caps on them now, so you'll see the walls are filled in. With some of the walls, let's pick one that's going to be obvious. Yeah, that one I'll do. If we have a look at this, you see that it's not double-sided. The shape of this wall is just coming up the side there. If we move into shape mode, you can see it comes up there. It's got an end cap, but there's nothing on the back. You can change that by going up to the properties and clicking on double-sided. Sometimes the walls are off in the distance, so you don't really want them double-sided. There's no point having extra polygons that aren't going to be seen. But most often, I guess, the walls that you'll be placing around racetracks may be viewed by TV cameras on the other side, so you may need to fill them in. You can move the nodes around as per string objects and tracks, so I won't go into any depth there. Insert, and you can have a track here, and then we'll switch back to that wall. Just by holding A down, we can align to that track. So you can move it over the other side if you like. And you can copy by having another copy and then A again to align it there. You'd want to spend a little bit more time spacing those out more evenly. Of course, you can add walls using, oops, I didn't mean to do that, using a freehand draw. So you can just draw along like that. One other thing that you can do here that's pretty cool is if you didn't like the wall that you used, just drag down and drop another wall into there. Pretty useful sort of feature if you've laid out kilometers of walls and you want to change them. You can go around and easily do that rather than having to delete them all and create again. So there's some shape functionality. It's very similar to what Bob's Track Builder was like. You can drag them out. It's got a little bit of info there that you can see. Just going back to double-sided, I forgot to mention. If you're creating double-sided all the time and you want to do that, under your options, RTB settings, you've got create double-sided walls here. Okay. And so if we were creating a fence, straight line, single fence there, it's now going to have the other side there by default. So that's a few good features there. To cover the painting of it, it's very similar to what we have for roads. You've got your icons there. You can drag these down and drop it in there, or you can double click on these things. So you select part of the wall. You can see that's now surrounded, highlighted, and then you can double click on a different texture. A lot of these textures obviously won't be suitable. That's actually for a fence, and it's to be wrapped around 90 degrees and standing up. So you'll see it's one of these type of textures. But all the textures there you'll see are very familiar to roads, so I'm not going to go into any depth explaining that. One thing I will explain is that if you do have a road there and you've got a long string object, let's just stretch this out a bit further and add a string object to the side of that. We'll use one of these low resolution ones, and we'll just go in here and string it out there. People have asked, for string objects to be collidable. But if we actually turn on the W, press W for wireframe and turn this on, you see there's a lot of polygons here, and you don't want to be testing against each and every single of these polygons when the game's running and wants to know whether your car's collided with this. So I've got the concept here of invisible walls. So you just, need to be in add mode. So let's do freehand draw, and we'll just add that along the side of the road there. Right there. We're going to move, press A, and just align that there. Now, I might actually turn walls off when I go back into string objects there, and we'll align. Whoops, we're in add mode. I'll just put that there. Okay, whoops. Yeah, we'll go into add mode, move mode rather. There's my string objects, and we might go into the properties of that and just make it curve so it fits that track a little bit better. So going back into walls, you notice the walls all disappear just because I don't have this toggled on. But if we're in wall mode, you obviously need to see them. So going back in here, now we've got this wall here is made of a far fewer number of polygons, and so your game, when it goes to test this, will only be testing those polygons rather than the hundreds that are making up that fence. So it's a cleaner way of doing your testing. In the future, I'm thinking of potentially auto-generating that wall so that you don't have to, from your string objects, that you could just have a flag against the string objects to say create a wall and make it this high so it automatically does it. But at the moment you have to come in here and manually do that. So obviously for this wall, if you want it to be a little bit lower, you'd move that, and you'd need to do the same up the other end. And yeah, just like that. And obviously a bit shorter because you'd want it to align with the fence. But I'm not going to cover those sort of basics. So that's something that's pretty cool. And these walls too can be single or double-sided as well. So we're turn off that double-siding. The wall's just the one side there. That's pretty much all I'm going to cover. If you've got any questions, ask in the forums and ask in the YouTube below if you like, and I'll try and answer them. Thanks for watching.